everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dana and thanks again for watching. I'm excited for this one today. I'm like swiveling in my chair, you know I'm excited then. The reason I'm excited is because today I'm sitting down to revisit old favorites, and this is gonna range the gamut. Pretty much, I would say like skincare is much in this just because I'm kind of getting into the makeup and sunscreen, but things that I have loved in the past, I'm gonna be talking about. Some things maybe newer, but some are tried and true favorites, and we're talking makeup primarily today. So I'm gonna be putting it all on my face, talking through why I still love it, why I still reach for it on a daily basis pretty much. And yeah, that's the video. So without further ado, we're gonna get in. I'm gonna put my hair up because you know I cannot do it with my hair down. And let's go. Alright, so I did spray a little bit of toner. It's the CAUDALIE toner. It's in my bathroom, but I use that quite often. It's good if you have more normal or oily skin. It definitely has like more of an astringent kind of property to it. It tingles a little bit. Also, before I get started, I do have on the new, what is this, SIRENI Lip Alchemy. This is supposed to be like a plumping kind of like lip gloss. It definitely has a tingle to it. If you don't like a tingle, this is not for you. And I should have put it on, maybe I'll take it off and then put it on at the end. But it's got like a My Lips But Better kind of color. But definitely it's got some color to it. So I'll take it off for now and then put it back on at the end. All right, so like I said, some of these are favorites, some of them you may be surprised by. And I think the first one is gonna be the ILIA C Beyond Triple Serum SPF 40. I have a whole video on this. I will link it above. This product, first of all, the packaging is literally the worst thing in the world because you have to turn it obviously upside down. Well, I always shake it first. And then like try to get it out through this little thing. As I'm getting toward the end of the bottom bottle, it's not working as much. Like look at what I got. Not a lot. So unfortunately, it does have vitamin C. That's not the part that's unfortunate, but unfortunately I've had to twist off the top and then just pour it into my hand. And the reason I don't like that is because it has vitamin C in it, so that could like affect how stable and long lasting it is. But hopefully it's just that I have to do it toward the end of the bottle. Why do I keep saying bottom? And then, you know, it's not as big of a deal, but I am getting close to the end of it and I'm kind of like, oh my God, am I gonna repurchase this? It was $60. I didn't love it. I especially didn't like the packaging. I know how I'm starting this video off of like revisiting old favorites by saying one I didn't like, but this is kind of one I changed my mind on. For me, one of the issues was that it did pill quite a bit, and then of course that packaging. But what I have learned, and this works for me, like it may not work for others, but I don't tend to, especially in the summer, I don't tend to do a lot of skincare before my makeup and everything just because I have more normal combo / oily skin. So for me, this works really well as kind of like my skincare. It's nice that I'm getting some SPF. It's nice that I'm getting some vitamin C because I don't always put that on. I'm kind of lazy about that. And it gives me just a little bit of color too. I forget which shade I have. Does it come in shades? I think it does, but tone 1. I have tone 1, so if that's the lightest shade, I don't know. Because this definitely gives me like a little bit of a tan. So I don't put on as much as I should if I'm just wearing this, like if this is my only sunscreen, but I think of it as a base of vitamin C, not really SPF. So in my mind, it's okay that I put a little bit less on. But then I go in with the sunscreen, and today I'm gonna be using the Bubble +1. Love this stuff so much. It is tinted, it is mineral, but it doesn't feel greasy to me ever. And it just kind of like, look at that. I feel like you put it in and it soaks in pretty much immediately. And when I'm putting on the ILIA C Beyond, I am using just a little. Like if I could actually pump it, if that pump worked, I would be putting maybe like, I don't know, 5-6 pumps. So it's not enough that it makes the product pill. I think that product pills when you have too much of it, which sucks because then you can't really use it properly. But I haven't had any pilling with the sunscreen over top. And this sunscreen is just one of the easiest, like no frills, really affordable sunscreens. And I have it on my desk, so I reach for it all the time. But like, it's just a great one. And it gives me a little bit of a glow, but that's mainly because of that vitamin C underneath. So I'm gonna finish putting this on and then we'll continue. All right, we're back. The next thing that I love, and this is, I apologize, this is a little bit of a bougie routine. I do like some drugstore things, but I feel like lately not as much. So the next things are the base products, and I absolutely love Chanel products. So this is the Vitalumière Aqua, and I have it in the shade 22 Beige Rose. This is a little bit paler, so it's more of like my winter color, but I feel like because I got like a little bit of a tan, I'm okay with that. But then I also mix in the Sheer Healthy Glow highlighting fluid, and this is in the shade Sunkissed. So I like to make a little concoction, and I will show you that. I use my White Barn palette. And you can use, I don't know, whatever product, or if you want to use your hands, if you want to use a brush, if you want to use a sponge. I tend to use a brush, and what I'm doing, if you can't see, is I put a little of the Vitalumière, and then I'm just going to do a pump of the Healthy Glow, whatever it's called, and I mix it. And you can see that that color is kind of neutralizing that tan color, which the tan color works for right now because my body is still tan, but in the winter it would not. So I tend to use a brush first, and this is a pretty sheer coverage. You can build it up a little bit, but I wouldn't say, well, it's not sheer, it's like light coverage. You can build it up to about medium, just depending on like how you use it and how much. But then I tend to, with almost all my base products, I go back over it with a sponge. And I'm gonna link the brushes and the sponges because this brush is from SAIE, it's great, but I actually 9 times out of 10 use my Real Techniques 405 brush. It's kind of this angled brush. I think it's actually a blush brush. You can get it for like $8 on Amazon or at Ulta. So I highly, highly recommend that. And then these sponges are just from Amazon. And I love the fact that they're brown. Honestly, like I have black, I have pink, I have all these other color beauty blenders, and I just feel like it hides how messy they are. So that's what I go for. So there we go. So one of the reasons that I love this so much is I feel like it can give you the kind of base that you want no matter your skin type. So if you do have more dry skin, you definitely want to moisturize or wear like a nice glowy sunscreen or moisturizer underneath. But it gives you this kind of like natural look to your skin. It doesn't look too heavy, it doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look too glowy, which can kind of look artificial. It doesn't look too matte. It really just looks like skin. It's so perfect in my opinion. I've almost used this up. The other one that I really love that I've also almost used up is the Fenty Beauty Eavesdropped. So these are kind of similar. I would say that you get a little bit of the same effect. This one may be a little bit more matte. This one is scented, which if you don't like, I think most of the Chanel scents are just like my dream. So I love that. And then this one as well is just kind of that like, it's a Charlotte Tilbury, Hollywood Flawless Filter type of glow. It's just that extra glow if you ever want it. And I usually just mix it in. All right, next up, let's go for the eyes. Even though I might not always do the eyes next, I kind of like jump around. But these are the Vive eye wands and I love them. So I have a lot of shades, but today I'm gonna use, let's see, where do we, vanilla and sand, I believe. So we have one shade that is vanilla, which is a little bit lighter. Vanilla right here, and then this is sand. Sand is more like my actual skin tone, whereas vanilla is more white. And what I do with this, they can be used as your base for eyeshadow, but I tend to just use them as my eyeshadow. And I put sand on the inner corner, kind of the first half, or vanilla on that half, and then sand on the outer. So I'll speed through this, but it's pretty simple. You just put it on and blend it out. And these are very long lasting. All right, so the eyes are done, and this is just a matte look. I'm not going for glitter, but you could always put a glitter on over top. And I just have cat hairs everywhere. All right, I told you this was gonna be bougie, but this is like, if I'm going to pack for like a trip and I just need one of each, this is kind of what I'm bringing. I know, I apologize. You do not have to buy all of these. These are just my favorites that I truly, truly reach for time and time again. These are our blushes. We have the Westman Atelier Super Loaded Tinted Highlight. I have it in the shade Peau de Santé. This is actually a highlighter, but I use it as a blush. You can use it however you want. And then this is the RMS Beauty French Rosé Redimension Hydra Blush. This stuff is incredible, and if you're gonna just pick up one of these, this is like $75, this Westman Atelier. So only if you're wanting to splurge, but if you just want a beautiful kind of not glittery, but like shimmery, it's almost like a topper, but I think it works really well as like a very natural kind of blush. I would go with the RMS one. Today I'm gonna use that first, which sometimes I do it over top, but today I wanna just show you what it looks like. And so I'm gonna take a bigger brush, make sure I don't have too much, and then you really can build it up pretty nice and slowly. Like, do you see that? That is just like the perfect amount. And this is why I love it, because it's hard to overdo it. This shade might look intimidating, but I feel like if you have like maybe medium to lighter, maybe not medium, but like lighter skin tone, it actually works really well and it's complementary. But it's just the most natural stuff. Like when I don't want to go crazy and look like I have too much makeup on, this is the blush that I reach for. Perfect. And you can even like run a little over your eyes. I tend to do that. Just kind of pulls the whole look together. But like I said, I am bougie, so I will go over top with the Westman Atelier. This stuff, also this packaging, is the most stunning. It's actually weighted, it's heavy, it feels luxe. You're paying for it, like you really, really are getting what you pay for. As opposed to like the Charlotte Tilbury, I feel like those look like they kind of look similar, but they are plastic. This is not. And I just go in with my finger, like warm it up, and I just go over kind of my cheeks. You can pull it up, you can do whatever you want. All right, so we are nice and glowy, but not too much. Like the base looks really nice. It's got a glow, especially where I put that highlighter and slash blush, but I do want to powder a little bit, and you know I'm gonna reach for my tried and true Givenchy Prisma Libre in the shade Violet Rosé. I also, if you want the most kind of amount of powder, go in with the powder puff. Make sure that you have no creases under your eyes or wherever, and I just get a little bit and then press it in. And this is gonna give you the most kind of like flawless look. If you don't love powder or you have drier skin, I would go in with a brush and use a lighter hand, but for under my eyes, I like to go there. And then around my nose as well, because this is like my T-zone is where I get a little bit more oily. This stuff is so amazing though. And they have a smaller size nowadays, so I will link that one. And that's always good to like try it out and get the travel size, and you'll probably never go through all of it. I mean, I'm actually going through this, but I will have it for years. And there we have a little bit of a more kind of, in the T-zone, it's just a little less glowy. And that's okay, because I don't want to, like, I feel like when you see people who are glowy everywhere, it actually doesn't look great, in my opinion. And so this just tones it down on the T-zone. One thing I didn't use, but this is absolutely a tried and true, this is pretty much done. This is the NARS Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base in the shade Medium. I love this because it is tinted as an eyeshadow base. You can put it on. I sometimes just use this and then maybe like a little bit of powder, just because my upper eyelids are kind of red and veiny. So this just cancels that out, but it also works great, obviously, as an eyeshadow base. So this is almost an empty, but I wanted to talk about it as well. Next thing, this is very random, but this is the Buble and Rudy Berry Freckle Pen. So I've been using this a lot lately, even though I feel like when I watch her do it, she does it so quickly. I'm much slower, I'm not an expert, and I try to just do a few. I think it looks a little bit more natural when you just have like, at least on me, like, cause I'm not a super freckly person. So I try not to go overboard. But this freckle pen is pretty much the most amazing because it's got a little like round tip on it. You see that? It's just a few freckles, nothing crazy. And you just tap them out. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and put this SIRENI lip stuff on again. There are cat hairs everywhere. This stuff, okay, this is what I want to show you. This is the color of my lips right now, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like when I put this on. So that's just the top lip, nothing on the bottom. It's a very natural color. Like, it definitely has pigment to it, but it's nothing overly crazy or anything like that. And then we have a few more items. I'm gonna just do my brows really quickly. We'll speed through that, but I do use a few brow pencils. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Brown. I don't know, it's just a pencil. I just like the shade because it's not too dark. And I just fill in the tails because they get kind of like a little bit lighter, and they are microbladed, so that's all I do there. I don't do a lot. And then I use, again, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. I think this has the best hold, and it never gets kind of like white and cakey. I do also love the 24-hour brow setter from Benefit, but if you put too much maybe like of your base on and they get in your eyebrows, it can get a little white. So I find that this, if you have that issue, I would go for the Anastasia instead of the Benefit. And I feel like I don't look as good with the like fluffy brows that are kind of still in style, so I just do my natural brows. Maybe push up the fronts a little bit. And then since I am going for like a little bit more of a natural look, one of my absolute favorite products from Merit is their just mascara. I don't know what it's called, but I will of course link it below. This gives you the fluttering natural lashes. If you want something more like out of this world vavoom, this is not the one for you, but if you want like a natural look, this is. All right, guys, that's the look. Look at these lashes. They're so fluttery and simple. This is pretty much my perfect everyday like work makeup look. And if you watched me in the mornings, which would be weird, but if you did, this is pretty much what I do. I switch out some things, of course, but it's pretty much this. I like to keep it pretty simple, but also very pulled together, and I feel very pretty and I feel very confident. One thing I also do use a lot, so I wanted to give it honorable mention, is the Ciel Blush and Protect. Love this stuff. I have the shade Kirsty. It's my perfect shade. Like, I truly think it's my perfect shade. It's kind of a dusty rose mauve, maybe not mauve as much. I love the applicator. You can put it on directly to your face, you can put it on your hand and then put it on a brush or a sponge. But it's hard to go overboard, and it shears out so nicely, but it still is there, that it's like my perfect blush. I wish that the Glossier Cloud Paints came in that, because then I would use them more often, but because I have to squeeze them out all the time, I tend to not use them. So, well done to Ciel. I really love that stuff. Anyway, oh, and I wanted to say that I have been loving this. Like, I've used it a handful of times now, but really, really liking it. It's got a tingle, looks very natural, feels very hydrating. Very, very well done to SIRENI. So, this is my everyday revisiting old makeup favorites, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!